Hey knitters, it's Monday, and I just about choked myself trying to properly say hi to you in Klingon, so for now I'll just say Nukna. It's actually supposed to have like a thing where you touch your tongue to your uvula, but that really was not a good idea, and I choked for like 10 minutes, and I had this glass of water. So, for now, I'll just say Nukna. My knitting this week is the same as it has been for the last couple weeks. I'm still working on the Celtic cable neck warmer. I've gotten a little bit farther on it, but I don't knit on it that much. Just like once a week, pretty much. Twice if I'm lucky. So it's coming along, but it's not quite done yet, but it's not really that anything interesting to show you guys, so yeah. I want to be a Nerdfighterlike with you. Danny, I think it's totally awesome that you have a Lost script that's signed by the writer. Yeah, that's awesome. Kudos. Also regarding DFTBA, saying how people don't understand what it is, that happens to me a lot too. For the last 2 years, in everyone's yearbooks, I signed DFTBA Jenny, like when I signed it off after I wrote, like, "Don't ever change with me," or whatever. And people would be like, "What does DFTBA mean?" But they wouldn't notice till like 4 days later when they were reading them, and so they'd like Facebook me and be like, "What does DFTBA mean?" And I'm like, "It means don't forget to be awesome." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then I have this bracelet that I made that I've showed you guys before, and it says DFTBA on it. And I wore that to work once, and I got asked what that meant. That was slightly awkward. But yeah, I think it's a good sentiment whether you're a nerd fighter or not. Like, don't forget to be awesome. And when I'm wearing this bracelet, I either face it towards myself, like it is now, like when I have my arm out like this, it's telling me to don't forget to be awesome. But some days you just have those days when you're ticked off at everyone and you want them to not forget to be awesome. So then I turn around and wear it the other way, so it's like pointing at other people like, "Yeah, you over there that's being a jerk to me, you don't forget to be awesome because you kind of are." Yeah, I'm weird. Kayla, your Halloween costume was totally awesome. I said that before, but when you were wearing it, it was just like, yay, Mrs. Weasley. I can see you being a Mrs. Weasley type. Like, fierce, but awesome. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. And also, once again, the zombie video turned out wonderfully, and I love it still. And I also loved watching the bloopers and the deleted scenes and stuff. It was really interesting because some of that stuff I didn't know, and it was super. I just, hearts for the knitters. Michael, regarding Miss Marcolongo, I think she's a really nice person, and I really like her, and like I think she's interesting and unique, but I just don't really like her teaching style. Like, she does those PowerPoint notes, you know what I'm talking about? Just and she doesn't usually really know what's on them, so you like ask a question, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know, I have to look that up for you." Like, she just comes across as not knowing what she's doing. I don't like that, and too many notes. I don't mind doing notes, and I don't mind the book at all. Like, the AP Psychology book is fine. But I just don't like doing class notes. I think it's silly. Also, I really like that your ladybug is coming out nicely. It's going to be totally cute, so keep us updated on that. You also asked me what my favorite thing to knit or crochet is, and I can tell you that it's definitely not scarves. You know, you start off knitting scarves, but then I get really tired of scarves. Like, I have to have something interesting to keep my attention. I really like doing cables on stuff and like intarsia. So if I had like a scarf with cables on it, I'd probably be okay, but I'd still be a little like, oh, when is this over? But yeah, I really like knitting hats, even though I don't wear hats that much, so I have like all these hats that I don't wear that often. But it's because I go to school, you know, it's hard, so I don't know. I wish I wore hats more often, but I really, really like to knit them because they're fast and fun. Mira, regarding your "it's not easy being green" comment, I got that about 1,000,000 times, firstly from my mother. Also, someone told me I was like a green sea monster or something. It was ridiculous. I was like, does a sea monster wear a dress and hooker boots? Like, seriously? Do I look like a sea monster to you just because my skin is green? Unfortunately, most of the people who understood my Halloween costume were middle-aged men. It was gross. You also said that you have no idea what's going on in Lost at all. Exactly. No one knows what's going on in Lost, except the geniuses behind it. But keep watching because it's so good. I've been watching Lost since the beginning, and I still have no idea what's going on, but it's delightful. It's so good. It's also really good that you eat mints when you're writing for NaNoWriMo because mints actually stimulate your brain activity. Fun fact of the day. So keep on eating your mints and drinking your iced tea because it'll keep you pumped for those last 600 words or whatever. I don't know. Also, an awesome subscriber, Heather, asked if we usually knit Christmas presents. For the last couple years I have. 2 years ago I made all my friends scarves, which is probably part of the reason why I hate making scarves, because I made like 12 of them in like a month period. But last Christmas I knitted all my Christmas gifts. I think there's a video on here about that somewhere. So go back to Christmas time and find one of my videos, and one of them will say what I made everybody. But I made everyone gifts, but some of them weren't knitted, like I sewed some stuff. But most of them were knitted. I knitted like a little finger puppet that looked like Dwight Schrute, but it was more like a hand puppet. And I knit my friend Paige a bag. And yeah. And I'm planning on knitting stuff this year too, but I feel like I don't have as many friends as I did last year, so I'm not knitting as much stuff, but I really should have started that like a month ago. I don't think I have a challenge this week because I'm totally lame, but I do have a giant plastic spider. But I hope all of you guys have a great week, and I'm so excited to see Danny tomorrow, and I heart you all, and bye.